So what's going on, YouTube? Welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to do a different video on a Ford brand vehicle. And I've never ever been interested to drive a Ford Explorer. I mean, they've always been decent looking SUVs, crossover, whatever you want to call it. But I'm sitting inside of a 2020, I believe, 2020 Ford Explorer ST. Now this thing has 400 horsepower, and I'm going to take it out on the road really quickly. I just want to see how well this thing drives and handles. Oh my gosh! Oh my goodness! Dang! Is this thing in sport mode? Hold on. Make sure it's not in sport mode. That can't be right. I'm in eco mode, and this thing's already fast. Like, it literally just jumped away from me a little bit. So as you can see, I mean, this thing is really nice. I love this interior. I really like the exterior of the new Ford Explorer. When I saw them unveil it, I said I'm going to test drive the new one. I wanted to make sure that I had a chance to show you guys this SUV because it looks a lot better. And I've driven them in a rental fleet before, but based off of this, I mean, this thing is very agile. I mean, it has really tight steering. And it also has a power steering column too, which is really nice. Now, somebody was looking at this vehicle before me, and I could feel that it has the massaging seats on. I don't like things poking in my butt, just being honest with you. I don't like these things. It's like a little weird. It's probably something I have to get used to, but it's like moving me up and down. It's like pushing this butt cheek up, and then it's pushing this butt cheek up, and then it's pushing me forward this way. But yeah, overall, very nice SUV. This black interior got really hot, but the AC is really cooling it down. It's 93 degrees outside, and I do have the cooled seats on too, which work really well too. Now, in a second, I'm going to give it some gas. Let me put it back in sport mode. I just wanted to see how quiet it was at first. Very quiet, very plush ride, like very quiet too. I love this thing. I want one for my wife now. I got to try out the sound system too. So I do know that it has a 10-inch display. Love the way it looks. It looks amazing. And they also decided, you know what the heck, we're going to give it a 12-inch display for the gauges. So this, basically there's a screen for your cluster. And that's not a bad idea. I mean, a lot of the higher luxury vehicles are starting to do that, and they're just following suit. So good job, Ford. And here's what I'm going to do. Let's go ahead and put this bad boy in what's called sport mode. I'm going to slow down this a little bit. Go down. I'm at 30 miles per hour. I'm going to hit it. Wow. 80 miles an hour, 30 to 80. That was not bad. Wow. This, and as you can see, it's holding the rev there too. I'm gonna turn around now. I'm gonna shift it manually too. Very fast, aggressive shifts too. This is a true. Wow. This is fast. Very fast shifts too, guys. Oh, not going down that way. Brakes work really good too. One thing I will tell you is this: Ford has done a really good job, you know, re-engineering this SUV. I mean, it's very responsive and very easy to see out of too. I'm backing up right now, and I feel that I have really good visibility from the back too. Now they do give you a 360 camera too, so you can use that also. And it actually works really well. As far as the clarity on the screen, it actually is really good. Now let's go ahead and get back into it here. I'm gonna put it in manual mode again. Wow. I really think Ford hit this one on the head. I really do. All right, one more time. Wow. shifts are so fast. Wow. Okay, I'm done. Let's put this bad boy back in regular mode. You have tow haul mode, you have a sport mode, you have eco mode, you have normal, slippery, trail, and deep snow and sand. So there's just so many ways that you can dial this thing into what you need it for. Now, as I mentioned, this thing has 400 horsepower. I'll go over some of the specs when we get back to the dealership. On my channel, what I normally do is I'm going to show you guys around the truck, show you the interior and exterior. Then what I'll do is I'll go over the window sticker with you. That way you have an idea of what options and features this truck has. And then I'll show you guys what the MSRP is. I mean, this thing is just so responsive. I'm serious. It's really responsive. Like, I'm very surprised how well this thing handles for an SUV. Like, even, oh my goodness, like, even like, I have a Dodge Durango that I use for work, and the rear end is so like loose. Like, it has like a lot of body roll. So when I do like this, it kind of sways a little bit like this. It is kind of, whereas this is kind of like just kind of taking it, and it's just following, the rear is just following the front. And I think the reason why the Durango has so much sway is because the front sway bar is a lot thicker than the rear one, so therefore you get a little bit more play in the back. But with this here, I mean, this is a true like performer. Like, I mean, it does perform well. I just got a thumbs up from somebody just now. I guess he knows what this is, and I guess, hey, when you see that ST badge on the back of a Ford, you know that it's all about performance. I'm going to just keep talking about these shifts, guys. These shifts are butter. Like, they just go like this. Oh my goodness, this thing is so fun. Good job, Ford. Good job. You did a good job building this thing. Yeah, if I was in the market for a Ford Explorer, I would definitely buy this one. Now, I'll probably do a white one because this thing is hot. I mean, it's 92 degrees now, but when I got in this thing, I could feel my pores just starting to pour out the sweat. And that's just what you get when you have black interior. Black interior is just not comfortable, in my opinion. You know, at low speeds, I feel like the steering did kind of loosen up just a little bit. And again, this thing is quiet. Like, I hope that my GoPro does justice with how quiet this is. When you watch my previous videos, like in my trucks, like, it's always loud and it moves a lot. And with this, that's just not the case. I mean, this thing is really comfortable. Now, I'm gonna go find some shade because I'm not about to burn up in the sun. I do get sunburned, and I don't want to get sunburned today. So I'm gonna find me some shade, or I'm gonna go get me an umbrella. One of the two. So stay there. I'm gonna show you guys around the truck. All right, so we're inside the interior of the new Ford Explorer, and again, I really like the interior and the exterior design of this SUV. If you take a look, you know, just like up on the dash, they have like this carbon fiber look material here. It's in black, and it definitely looks nice. It feels good to touch. And then on the bottom, right here in the center console, you do have like some silver and aluminum accents. And then on the doors, they give you like the silver surround for the speakers and around for the door handle too. And then some nice white stitching on the doors that follows it on the seats. You have your little ST badge on the rear of the seat. And again, you have two very large screens. You have a 12-inch display here, and you have a 10-inch display, basically your iPad touchscreen here. If you hit menu, it'll basically take you over to navigation. So you have your radio stations down here, and then of course you have nav up top there. Now, this is for your radio station, for your audio, and for your, if you have Bluetooth capability, or if you're plugged into your USB. This is what you'll see here. Now, you do have your preset for your radio stations just below here. You can just swipe it. Love that they're doing that now. Most of the other manufacturers have been doing that, but they're of course doing it for the new one here. You need to set up your phone. You just saw navigation. Very clear screen. Let me put it in reverse so you guys can see the backup camera. If you get a little bit closer, as you see, it's a very, very, very high resolution screen. Kind of small, but it's not bad. I mean, you can kind of see where the car is. And that's really all that matters. You have the guiding lines too when you're backing up, which really comes in handy. And of course you have your sensors for the front and rear too. Now, if you need to download any apps, all you have to do is hit apps. You can find mobile apps. You have your Sirius XM travel link. Let's click that really quickly. Shows you a traffic list. There's a little bit of a delay in the system. A little bit of a delay. But very clear, very easy to use, very well laid out. One thing I've always disliked about Ford in the past is I never really liked the way they laid out things, and they really have fixed that. I really like this SUV. Like, this is really nice. I could see myself actually buying this. And you have ambient light. Now, I did notice down in the cup holders, you have some nice purple accents down here. I'm not sure if you can change that. As time goes, I will definitely do a little bit more. I'll go a little bit more into deeper detail of it. Actually, it looks like you can change it. Yep, look at that. You got orange, you got red. I would probably stick with red to kind of go with that ST look. Up top, you do have a panoramic sunroof. Ford loves their panoramic sunroof. You almost would think that they actually were the first one to have it, because they normally put it on everything they have. I mean, their trucks have them, SUVs have them, cars have them. You do have some storage up top here for your sunglasses. Rear view mirror is in a nice spot too. That back window is kind of small, but again, it still gives you enough visibility out the back window. Now, you are going to have LED lighting inside the SUV too. I have yet to see an incandescent bulb. Normally they put them in here, and they still put LEDs inside the visor here too. So for the most part, I'm seeing a lot of LEDs. On the steering wheel, you do have your ST badge. Nice touch, leather wrap steering wheel. This steering wheel is very nice to the touch. It does have a flat bottom, and it's power. I mean, that's a huge plus for me. I love a power telescoping steering wheel because it's really easy to put it in that perfect position. Now, on the right here, you can see you can kind of look at different things. You can look at your fuel economy, you can look at your trips, tire pressure, and it goes back to fuel economy. Again, we'll spend more time with this in the future. Like I said, it's definitely a really easy to use system. I love how they have the tachometer over here. It just looks really good, guys. Man, Ford is definitely doing some big things with this SUV. Now, on the side of the door here, you do have your seat memories here. You have 3. You can lock the doors, power windows, power door locks. The rear glasses do not go down automatically, but the front ones do go down automatically, and then they go back up automatically. So that's pretty nice. You still do have the home link, and just overall, this interior just looks really clean. A lot of storage. You can put a phone there. Just push that down. You have more storage down here. You have a USB, more power outlets. Inside the center console, it does not slide from what I can see. It does not slide. Another outlet inside of here. LED lighting in there too. Decent sized storage. It's not really that big, but it's enough. It would suffice for me. And again, you have a charging station right here for a pretty big sized phone too. Look at that. Look how big a phone you can get in here. Taking a look out back, you do have pretty much the same design on the interior and the rear as you do in the front. Now, I have the seat all the way back. I'm 6 foot. Now, my legs are definitely hitting the back seat, but the seats actually recline back slightly too. But overall, I mean, I would be comfortable. The front passenger would have to put the seat up a little bit more for me. But you do have some sunshades over here. You have one on each side, of course. There aren't any for the rear occupants. They can control the AC back here too. More power outlets. You have 2 USBs, and you have an actual plug outlet too. Heated seats are back here too. You do have some cup holders in the center console with some additional storage. What I do like is that they do give you some armrests for these rear captain chairs, and I like the fact that they did put captain chairs back here too. Now they actually do slide back a little bit, so I actually gained about 1 inch. So that basically whoever sits in front of me, if they're pretty tall, they could be comfortable in this front seat here. They do give you some additional lighting up here, which is going to be LED. You have your air vents for the rear occupants too. And I'm gonna hop back here in this back seat. All right, so I'm back here in the rear seat, and yeah, I wouldn't sit back here. I'd sit back here by myself. This is definitely really tight. You see, you do have some speakers back here, and yeah, wow, this is tight. I don't know if I can get out of here, but overall, I mean, this thing will seat 7 people. I mean, if you have 3 kids in the back, you can seat 7 people comfortably in this SUV. So let me go ahead and take you guys on the outside so you guys can see the outside design of this thing. This thing is absolutely beautiful. So let me know in the comment section what you think about this overall exterior design. This is like one of the best looking SUVs I've seen in a while. Love the front grille. Love how thin the fog lights look. They look very sleek. You have a reflector style LED headlight. You have your parking sensors up front. Really, really, really clever design too. I love how it says Explorer on the front of the hood, all blacked out, very clean. Would have liked to see them not have the Ford emblem on the front, but hey, this is a bad looking SUV. I don't blame them for not wanting to let everyone know it's a Ford. And if you don't know, that is a 21-inch wheel. So you're rolling on 275/45 R21s. Red brake calipers. And man, it just looks really good. The way this thing handles, the way it looks, it really does do a good job of making this thing look upscale and even actually feel upscale. You know, in the past, Ford and Land Rover were kind of like in a joint venture. I don't care what anyone says, they still are. Like that little, like this little design here, that is a Land Rover all day long. That is Land Rover written all over it. That's what they do. So you can kind of still see that they kind of share some style design together on how they do things. But overall, again, this thing is just so nice, so like this, so sporty. You can kind of see a little camera on the mirror. And normally I'm not a fan of plastic cladding on the side, but I think because of the paint being black, it does look fine with this. I would like to see one with a white or like a silver too. Of course, those red brake calipers follow the back of the SUV too. High gloss wheels too, which is nice. Out back, they're gonna give you a dual exhaust. Looks very mean. And those 275 tires actually make the back look kind of buff too. I like that they did that. Because I mean, my truck, I have a heavy duty truck, and I mean, they have 285s, and you know, look, these have 275. So I mean, you're gonna get a lot more performance from these tires. You're also gonna get a little bit more grip if you're going around curves. Now, we'll say with 21-inch wheels, you're gonna have a little bit more expensive tire, but hey, if you're spending this kind of money, you probably don't care about that kind of stuff. They do give you your power outlets back here for any trailer that you plan on towing. They do give you a trailer hitch too. Of course, you see all your parking sensors on the rear. And I like how they like make the back look like it has like a rear diffuser too. So very clean, very sporty. I mean, with 400 horsepower, with the way this thing handles, I would definitely recommend something like this to anyone who might be in the market for a sporty SUV that doesn't want to spend $90,000. I mean, this thing looks really good. Very clean on the back, not too many emblems. And as you see, it has Explorer written on the back of the tailgate. If you want to open it up, you have a button with an arrow right there. And surprisingly, a lot of storage with the rear seats up. I mean, look at that. It's not bad. Subwoofer. And then they have an extra area, looks like to store some stuff. Now, I was pulling this handle here thinking that this is what puts the rear seats down. Nope. They decided to make the seats power for you. Now, I haven't shown you the window sticker yet to show you how much this thing costs. We're going to do that in the next minute or so. But I believe this thing has 87 cubic inches of cargo area available if you need it to carry some stuff. They do give you a 12 volt back here too, LED lighting still. Now, I did notice when I opened the tailgate, they do not give you LED lights in here. There's still going to be incandescent bulbs, but as you can see, you have an arrow right here that shows you where the button is. Now if you want to put the tailgate down, you can actually push the button back here. Very easy to use. And again, this is a really, really nice SUV. I got to give it to Ford. They did a good job this time. I really think that I'm going to see more people driving these. Like, don't get me wrong, a lot of people had them in the past. I've seen a lot of these on the road, but this is just a really good iteration of such a really aggressive, really sporty people mover. So I do know that in the rear taillights too, you do have some LED lighting here, but they did use incandescent bulbs for the turn signal and for the reverse lamp too. So taking a look at the window sticker, you have a 2020 Ford Explorer, and it's going to have four-wheel drive with a 3-liter EcoBoost V6 10-speed transmission. One thing I want to mention is, as I was driving this, it did not feel like it had 10 gears. It really did a good job not being busy as you were driving down the road. Now, as far as your standard equipment goes, this is going to be everything that's going to come from the factory on this vehicle unless you add options. So this is going to be like a short list, but it normally gives you all the stuff that you would probably be interested in knowing about. And just down below, they do give you a very short option list on this. I mean, for the most part, everything on this SUV that you would think would be optional is actually standard. But the only thing that's not is the twin panel moonroof. And then the premium technology package is going to give you the 14 speakers, 10-inch display, and it's going to give you the multi-contour front seats. It's going to probably give you those those massaging seats, things like that. Now the SD Street Pack is going to give you the performance brakes, 21-inch wheels, and it's going to give you a front license plate bracket, which is basically going to be standard on something like this. And then up top, as you see, the base price is going to be $54,740. With all the options that you added, it's only $3,685. Destination comes in at $1,095 for a total price of $59,520. So one thing I'll mention to you guys is this. This is not a cheap SUV. And there are a lot of options on the market that would probably be at or a little bit better than something like this. But what I will tell you is, with the overall styling, with that 3-liter EcoBoost engine, I didn't show this to you, but as you see, fuel economy on something like this, 24 and 18, I know that you can probably get a little bit better if you stay out of the turbo. So if you don't hit that gas too much, you can easily see a little bit better fuel economy with something like this. But you know, for $59,520, I mean, you have a lot of options out there. I mean, you can look at even a Ford Expedition for this kind of money, and it also too has an EcoBoost. Now it's going to be a little bit slower because it's a little bit heavier, but you have the Acura MDX. You have other options out there that would probably be a good matchup with this thing. But overall, what I will tell you, you won't really see a lot of the performance cues that you have in this. And the acceleration that I experienced with this thing, it was really, really, really good. And the last thing I'll say is this: the agility, the way that it handles, and just the overall steering responsiveness, it does actually make it a really good contender if you are looking at other options.